now to share his views, ladies and gentlemen, is the man that every 18-year-old in the country wants to be when he grows up. And that is Peng Tsin, our very own, very seriously successful serial entrepreneur. Founder and CEO of Interwoven, which successfully listed on NASDAQ, co-founder of Match.com, which was acquired by IAC, founder of Insinuate, later acquired by IBM, and now partner at Monk's Hill Ventures, a $100 million fund targeting growth startups in Asia. To you, Peng Tsin.
Thank you. First, thank you very much for inviting me here. It's an honor to be here. I came at it, I'm an engineer, I'm a geek by training and by inclination. So I'll throw some numbers out there just to give a sense of magnitude. If you take the M&As in Southeast Asia the last half decade or so, and you add up about 40% of those M&As reported numbers. So if you add up those numbers, it's about 3 billion. So the other 60%, let's put in another billion there, some were small companies. So you have $4 billion worth of M&As in the last half decade or so. And I guess the point I want to start making here is not just about this island itself. It's about the region. It's about the potential of the size of this region helping to make a difference. And I think I'm very excited about being here in Singapore because I think we're at the epicenter of at least 600 million people on the planet. This idea of scale is emphasized again. I think the next few numbers you're going to find very interesting. Unicorns. How many people have heard of unicorns? Wow, you guys don't read fairy tales and all that. Unicorns, as a newly coined usage, implies companies that have valuations of north of $1 billion that were founded in the last 10 years. So within 10 years of establishment, they got to a market cap of $1 billion or more, right? So Facebook, for example, is a unicorn. I had an intern do this, so it's not 100% accurate. There are about 180 unicorns in the last 10 years in the tech sector, and by tech I mean software, internet, right? 94 of them are US, 48 of them are Chinese, from China, and 38 of them are from the rest of the world. The rest of the world numbers might be a bit off because there's not an easy source to find them. But the point is the bulk of the unicorns, i.e. the bulk of the value creation on this planet, comes from basically two countries. The largest one in terms of GDP per capita and the second largest one, right? So again, good news. Bulk matters, size matters, and why is it good news? I think if you add India and Southeast Asia, we're the biggest region on the planet. I'm very excited about this. My VC friends in India come over here all the time. You know, I occasionally go there, and we don't look at it as India and Southeast Asia. We're looking at it as one big region, right? There's some ideas that come out of India. There's some ideas that come out of Southeast Asia. They go there. They go here. It's all one big operating area for us. And if you look at the history of China, China was nowhere 15 years ago, right? There were like 0 unicorns. Now they count for every 2 unicorns the US has, China has 1, right? And all they did in China was freed up the energy of the entrepreneur, right? We're talking of value creation at the level that the world has never seen before. And I'm very excited about what's happening in this region, from Indonesia to India, how I think entrepreneurs are starting to be freed up to do things, that governments are starting to get out of the way of people. And when that happens, and I think you will all start to see, there are going to be a whole bunch of unicorns coming out of Southeast Asia, coming out of India. I'm very, very excited about the next few years. So the point there is about scale, and it's not just about this tiny little island. The second thought I'd have for you is to think about, and actually for more the government folks to think about, is numbers from the Valley. Right? There's a professor, I think she was from Stanford, Annalise Saxon, and I think is her name. She did a research and found that more than half of Silicon Valley founders, are from some other country other than the US. Right? The US has 350 million people. And even at that scale, we need to import, I say we because I spent half my career there, half of our founders from somewhere else. Right? Singapore has 5 million people. Right? Do the math. Right? There's almost no way to create anything of huge significance simply because you need the numbers. So if it's a game of cities, which I think it's starting to become, then every city everywhere has to think about how to be the #1 city for the world's best. If you're not, then you'll be falling behind in the IP generation game in the future. So those are the two thoughts I'd like to leave you with in terms of how to think about highly impactful wealth creation on the planet today. One thing else, again, I keep saying I'm a geek, and what I'm about to say will sound geekish, but I think it'll change your life. Should I stop now? Okay. If you pick up your Google phone and you go to Google Translate, right? I bet at least half of you have an Android phone here. You go to Google Translate and you go into the speech mode. You talk to it in one language, it'll spit out the translation in another language, right? The computer, sometimes the translation really is not good, but this is today. I believe in 5 years, 10 years, you're starting to see interaction with computers at a level that you haven't seen. In 10 to 20 years' time, you won't be able to tell the difference interacting with a human being and a machine. Right? Think about that. Right? Think about the impact of that on technology. Think about that. Think about the impact of that on employment. Think about that in terms of where do we derive our value from? Right? If computers can do a lot of things better than we can, or most things better than we can, where do we derive our values from? This is a debate that's starting to happen in the tech sector amongst the geeks, where we are wondering, are we actually creating a lot more damage by going down this path of technology, or are we enabling people to do a lot more stuff? So if you believe, if you do your research on this set of AI technologies, you will see some very fascinating things starting to happen, right? The best chess player on the planet is no longer a human being, right? And it will keep going down the line. The best whatever on the planet at some point is not going to be a human being. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to your business? And I think this maybe is less of a point I'm making, but something to get you to think about. And how would you, if you're early in your career, how would you guide it so that you actually play into the trends of the future? So.
Thank you. Thank you, Peng.